Hi, everybody. We're back at it again. Episode 165 of Crowdfunding Enabling Countdown. No, there's no more enabling happening here. We're going to draw the line. We're going to look at every single board game campaign finishing up this week and all the ones that I missed. Oh, I just remembered another one that I missed. I better add that to my tabs. There we go. Perfect. All the magic happened behind the scenes. I am here in my professional studio, ready to give you the truth about these games. I'm excited. I'm excited to check out this week. I'm not really that excited, to be honest, but there's going to be some good ones to start out, and then we'll see. Before we begin, no sponsor this week, but I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon community. You all are amazing. I love you all. I'm just super duper appreciative of the entire Room Board community and everybody who is able to support me on Patreon and does. That's fantastic. If you can't, again, no worries. I'm not here to make you spend money. I'm here to provide a service. I'm here to comb through my way as much as I can and see if we can find some gems in the rough, or see if we can add some spit on that shine of some games. But I just really appreciate you a lot. I do. And so I just want to say thank you again. It's really helpful for me to be able to justify investing as much time as I do in this channel. And also, again, I do what the people want, and I'm making sure that I got the top of the line quality studio for all of you, for all of your viewing pleasure. Let's get into it. Let's get into the week. That's not where we're starting. We're starting off here. Let's shake it off. Let's shake off the day. And let's get into it. We're starting off here at the Shadow Moon Syndicates, which, again, thanks to my Patreon community, they pointed out, hey, you missed this, you stupid, dumb idiot baby. And I said, yes, I did. I will spank myself till Sunday. But now we're covering it. Well, it's not even Sunday. It's past Sunday. It's Wednesday. Much better day than Sunday. Wednesdays are better. Survivor's on Wednesdays. So how could it not be better? But we got Shadow Moon Syndicates, the board game, leads your criminal syndicate from society's underbelly to dominate the Shadow Moon in this 2 to 5 player game designed by J. Carmichael. The name doesn't sound familiar to me, but that's probably because I don't play any games. Never played a game in my life. Not going to start now. Okay, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued enough. You want to be rise to become the sovereign of the Shadow Moon. You're going to do that through area control. You're going to be placing presence on the board and maintaining a little control of this. And you'll be doing it through sort of card play. And you'll also be building up your last crime syndicate. So saving cards from round to round, which lets you feel really clever, I guess, at the end. Or really not clever when you look down and realize, oh no, I kept all the Fredos. Is it Fredo in The Godfather? Yeah, it's Fredo. Oh, I just got a syndicate filled with Fredos. Oh no, no pledge manager. Well, it might not even be worth doing this then, since this will come out when the game's over. But I assume, because Kickstarter's doing this thing, that there will be sort of late backing. So I guess we'll find out. Monday morning, because I'm doing this before the game has ended. We'll see if they decide to do late pledges, which they should, because every campaign gets about an additional 50% income bump through late pledges. That's just an average stat that happens. So why would you leave money on the table? But I guess we'll find out. I like hanging out with you all. Aim of the game. Over 4 rounds, you use your hand of cards to influence the regions of Shadow Moon. Carry out high-stakes criminal operations and assemble your specialists for the game's finale. Yeah, that's the thing that makes me potentially excited. There's also dual-use cards. There's a top effect and a bottom effect. How players manage their card is key to placing influence in the most effective ways to gain lucrative credits, etc. In-your-face player interaction. Highly asymmetric syndicate creates a different feel from game to game. 10 unique syndicates. Okay, so I guess you smash them together because it's all card-based, and so they all will chain together, and so you probably have a certain number of sets for each game. Probably. What have they done before? Okay, I remember these. Oh, Shelfie Stacker I thought looked quite neat, if I remember correctly. Storm Raiders I wasn't that sold on. Seemed fine. And Dreadful Meadows, this was okay. Oh, look at Kickstarter doing the YouTube thing where it just plays the video if you hover over it. That's neat. I think that's new. Yeah, all of these games, I thought Shelfie Stacker looked the most interesting, and then it's not that interested, not that interested. Who knows? Download the rulebook. Yes, please. Oh, this says over 3 rounds. Oh, and then the game's finale, so that's probably... if it's 3 or 4, it doesn't matter. There are 15 sectors divided up by borders. Influence and status tokens are always one sector. You have 16 influence tokens of your color. You add them, they're just little chips. If you have at least 2 influence and the most influence, you control that sector. Yet there'll always be 10 agents from each of the chosen syndicates. There's an above the line and below the line effect. You're going to stack your cards so you always see the syndicates, so there's a bit of a set collection there, because they probably chain with different tokens or different card effects. So you can play a card face up, face down. Face down, you just put it wherever you want. you get influence, who cares? You want to do it face up, though, because you always get to do the above the line effect. If you've matched the previous syndicate, like your syndicates are working together, then you also get to do the below the line effect. And so you're going to be playing and trying to get these operation tokens, which look like you just need to have more influence than the number to take them. And they're touching multiple paths, so you don't have to influence certain spots. You want to put all your influence in one, you potentially get 2 operation tokens, is how it looks like. Unless you have to remove them, but I don't think so. Yeah, you can only claim 1 operation token per turn. It's also possible that they might not claim any. And so you can also, you have the cards in your hand, or you can swap cards with your hand in the face-up card row. That's kind of cool. You have to give your opponent access to it. So if they are building a specific syndicate build, the chances are they might get the syndicate again, might have an effect. You're kind of going to just be dealt different agent cards. And so you do have some flexibility for swapping with the row, but you do get agent cards a little bit randomly at the beginning, if that matters to you. Now, I didn't want to just say it was like Mission Red Planet because it's a circle and it's area control, but it really does feel like Mission Red Planet because the area control feels fairly simple, right? You want to stack up these chips, you want to add your influence to one specific section, and these cards will enable you to do that. Change here is that these cards do various things, and working with these various things might be interesting. Swapping cards from the row might be interesting. Non-player characters added when you're playing with 2 players will steal cards essentially from the row. Yeah, I wouldn't want to play this with 2, but what area control game do you want to play with 2? Realistically, none of them. Maybe that'll be the grunt down right there. It's fine. How much are you though? New Zealand 75, 62 Canadian, 47 US. That feels correct. It's nice that it is a little bit on the cheaper side, which is great. Of course, they have additional expansions, which will just give you additional card stacks. And shipping is going to be 17 to the US, 24 to get to Canada, probably 90, 95. I rarely play Mission Red Planet as it is, although I played it recently and I just had such a great time and I was very excited because it had been on my like cull pile for a bit. Because I was like, if I don't get this played, and then when I played it and it was just like a really snappy, fun time. And I just kind of feel like that is better than this. So there's no real reason for me to be interested in this. But if you're interested, that finishes Thursday, November 21st. It is already done. So you can check back and see if there are late pledges. I'll leave a link to it, as always, down below. And did you know that in every video, I have a little thing, the Crowdfunding Countdown Master List, where you can go in and I've logged every single campaign, the link to that campaign, also what episode it can be found in. So if you want to like go back and see what past Chris wanted to scream about and ramble on into the camera, well, you can. Let's move on to this one. Also something I missed. This finished yesterday, but again, I assume that we'll be able to cover it. Yeah, the creator was like, hey, you told me to reach out to you in your last week. It's in the last week, and then I completely ignored it. So I'm sorry about that, but we're going to look at this one, a standalone follow-up game to the critically acclaimed Tricky Time Crisis. I remember that somewhat. As well as 3 more games and a TTC reprint, the Toronto Transit Commission reprint. We're finally getting that reprinted. Finally getting that in a different vein. Baron John here. Okay, so let's see what these are. First we have Tip of the Diceberg. Tip of the Diceberg is a ladder climbing shedding game that uses a can't follow meld system and adds a polyhedral dice and a unique deck of cards where each suit is based off of one of the 6 standard polyhedral dice types. D4, okay, D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, D20. Cool, and you got all one to that. Gameplay incorporates can't follow method, but for melds in a climbing game instead of suits in a trick-taking game. So like Scout, I would imagine. Like, oh, you set up your Diceberg, so this shows you all the different melds that can be used. That's kind of neat. Different things that, different cards you can play together, sure. You play cards, dice, or any combination of the 2, so you get your own little handful of dice. That's kind of fun. And just for fun, the lower value is the better one, just because. Could be the higher one, it's the lower one. The lowest value of the previous meld has a card equal to or lower value than the lowest card of the previous meld. You can play it. The trick has to be a different type of meld. So you've got to just lay your cards on these dice, sure. But at least you might have that decision of when to play your low cards and how you can combo them into stuff. I don't know. Sure, all right, that's that one. Trick or Bid, the first game by Baron John. A bidding game where you make your bid in one of the most unique ways. When you win a trick, you can count it as one of the tricks you've won for the hand, or you can instead take one of the cards from the trick you didn't play and use that card as your bid for the new hand, or your bid for the hand. You simultaneously have to win one or more tricks than your bid to be accurate. So basically whatever trick you win, you then have to say, okay, now I'm winning 4 tricks, so you have to decide on the fly. Tricky Time Crisis, The Spawn of Time, standalone trick-taking game for 2 to 5 players. So it's a cooperative game, I think. The supervillain Dr. Tricky Task is seeking vengeance for the seeming death of her father. The villain, Dr. Tricky Time. So it's up to you guys to stop her. And you'll just have to make different symbols or different formulas while she keeps monologuing. Okay. And then we have Power Tricks, which is Masters of the Universe, clearly. Game for 3 to 5 players. It pushes tricks to their maximum power level. Must follow, so you have to follow suit. Asymmetrical suits that have ranks from 1 to 15. You can see the makeup down here. Each trick, 1 sword of power is available for players to take. The sword adds a bonus to every trick or tick you play after the one you take. You can only take 1 sword, so you better take the right sword. And you probably have to take it. So choosing when to take that sword versus not, when to pull the trigger, if you will. Basically, you just want to lose the first ones. But if people know that you're going to lose the first ones, then they just won't take the sword. Offers a campaign to be played, 6 chapters incorporating new rules for each game. The Axe of Power has been found. Trump A, trick points C, bid card B. Yeah. Oh, the rulebook's right here. I thought that was a pretty good explanation from all of them. Shipping, $6 for 1 game, 13 for 4 to get to the US, $10 to Canada, 22 to Canada. How much is one? Oh, they're all different. 22 for Tricky, 22 for Trick or Bid, 22 for Power Tricks, 25 for Tip of the Diceberg, I guess, because you're getting 18 dice. That makes sense. Or you can get all of them for $74, so $104 Canadian. Tricky Time Crisis is up for the Golden Trickster Award. Well, there you go. I'm not, like, blown away by any of these. I like trick-taking games. I don't quite see these replacing them. For me, I guess the fun part about Tip of the Diceberg is that you have open information with your dice and not. I don't know how I feel about the melds. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about these. But if you're interested, well, hey, let me know. That finished already, and you can go back and back it. That finished yesterday. Let's keep moving. Now we're on task. Hey, we finally made it to the week. Coming up with Dragon Dusted. Obviously, I was going to cover this because I love drag. Game for 2 to 4 players. Choose your drag character, create your outfit, and get ready to compete to be the only star to perform at Glitterati Palace. Boycott your rivals' looks and perform in front of your fans, influencers, and celebrities to gain fame and win the game. I like this concept right here that you can build your own body, wear looks, collect talent, perform to win for fans. Win fans. €33 for a copy. How do you play? Download the instructions. Yes, please. Oh, it seems very simple. It is 2 pages of rules. Great. You choose a drag character, you take a pawn, you draw a wig, you draw a dress, you draw an accessory. You can swap drag cards for a new one from the deck. You can draw cards until you have 4 in hand. You can move your character to an adjacent zone if they're around here, but they can't go on the stage yet. You can play an action card. Okay. Spend talent to acquire the fan in your zone or the super fan. Perform a lip syncing if necessary. Okay, so you're just trying to build up in each area something. Spend the necessary talent tokens indicated on the card. If only your character is in the zone, the fan is yours automatically. Oh, so the fans are hanging around and you need to get those resources. But if they're the only person there, you're like, hey, you're going to take a picture with me. Welcome to the meet and greet. I'm the only one here. Now let's get to the juicy part. What would a drag board game be without a little sabotage? Action cards are negative resources. First player to reach 10 fame points would crown the winner. So you're going around. It's a slight take on, like, I don't know how you get resources. Talents. You need to gather humor, opulence, and entertainment. Well done. At the end of each turn, collect all the talents your drag and fan cards provide. So you start with something, I guess. Oh, an active VIP fan? And then the resources down here, the resource that you always have. So there's a lot of, like, drawn, hope you get the good cards, hope you have enough resources to get the ones that you want. A little bit of strategy, though, of moving around. And that's how you can get your resources, is by moving to places that people aren't in. Did they say this was 2 players? I don't see how you could play it with 2 players. Yeah, a little set matching resource building style thing. And at the end of each turn, I think you get that resource specifically. So you're getting the physical tokens. So that's how you can kind of build those tokens up and accrue them. Yeah, €33. And then shipping to Spain, €5. To the EU, €13. To Canada, it's €25. So it's like double. That's like $100 for me. Absolutely not for me. It's cute enough. As far as drag games go, it's not going to really satisfy the strategy aspect of it. I think you'll pull it out more just to see what wigs you can wear, which maybe you're interested in that. Who knows? That finishes on the 26th at 7 a.m. Moving along. to Tofu Shifu, a unique blend of worker placement and card drafting in lovely Chinese ink painting style about the art of tofu making. I am so charmed by this. I hope it's good. This looks very cute. Man, the art here is great. You've inherited your grandfather's tofu restaurant to master the art of tofu cuisine. So you're gonna have a number of spots on the board where you're gonna place your Grand Master worker. I think you only have one worker, so it's sort of moving it around. Some worker placement, more action selection with some slight blocking. I don't know, I guess it is worker placement. Like Le Havre's worker placement. Le Havre does the same thing, where you just have one worker and it can block spots. But where Le Havre really works in that is that you can do other things on your turn. You don't have to move the worker. Worker placement, hand building, resource conversion. 80 tofu cards. Yummy, yummy. I do love all these little hats that are coming with it as well. You're going to pay with hats. Like, yeah, I got a bunch of waiter hats. Like, you just have a bunch of waiters to be able to, like, to serve the tofu, etc. But I just think these components feel so cute. 43 Canadian? You move your Shifu to an action space. I mean, I'm sure shipping's going to be tough because it's from China. That was a Chinese studio. Yeah, from Shanghai, China. Here's how you play. You move your Shifu to an action space. You pay the hat cost, so you either pay 1 or you 2. And then you take the action. So you can seat. You can put people at your table. Oh, I thought it was going to tell me all the actions. Apparently not. Okay, come on. Please, Tofu Shifu, give me a rule book. Whenever you complete your 8th objective card, the game ends. Or the most completed objectives wins the game, though. Whoever gets to 8. And then I suppose there's a tiebreaker. No, give me the rule book, please. You can get their other games as well. No, come on. Oh, come on. Shipping, the all-in, $12 US to get to Asia. North America zone, $30 US. Yeah, it's like doubles it. But it's so cute, and I want the hats. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, I know that it's hard to translate a rule book, and maybe that's it. Keep watching the video, I guess. I'm too intrigued. But how did Amy and Maggie learn it? They must have looked at something. Yeah, it looks cute. Oh, these are locked? Are these stretch goals? Stretch goals. Boom, 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 boom. 3D printed hats. Crowdfunding exclusive. Oh yeah, 3D printed dish tokens. Yeah, and then you got some little tokens. Oh, girl. I mean, it just looks really cute. It looks really cute, and the worker placement aspect seems fun. Whenever you get people, you put them on the table where they're sitting, and then you have to figure out what they want, because you don't know what your customers are going to want when they walk in. They might want something completely different than what you were able to provide, and you have to learn their wants and needs and desires. This is very cute. Very cute. 43 feels like a great price. I mean, like, obviously it's coming from China, so the shipping makes it not as great. You know, $30 additional, so it basically doubles the thing for me. So it would be an $86 game. So I don't know if I'm that excited about it for at 86. I don't know. It seems pretty cute, though. That finishes Wednesday, November 27th at 8 a.m. Moving along to probably the most anticipated of the week for me. This is Sweetlands, advanced strategy game to build City of Sweets. It's time to create a City of Sweets, a new heavyweight game from Aqua Garden and Astralia team for 1 to 4 players, 100 to 200 minutes, 14 plus. Well, there it is. If you don't have 200 minutes to spend on the game, run away from these Sweetlands and these sweet plans and get Tofu Shifu instead. Yeah, let's check this one out. I'm excited to check this out. I thought Aqua Garden looked not good at all, but I thought Astralia seemed very interesting, and it was pretty well received. So I'm interested to see and really dive into Sweetlands, because I know some of my Patreon members are already buying it, and some of them have forgotten that they pledged for it. In that case, go cancel. 450 wooden tokens. This has got to be like at least $100, right? Yeah, 122 Canadian. I think the problem with Sweetlands right off the bat is if you get it, people are going to be like, ooh, what's that? And you're going to have to say, it's not for you. to people who are just coming over for, you know, a casual game night. Like, nah, it's not for you. But it looks so cute. No, it's not for you. By inserting character boards, you can use rich double-layered board for all characters. Yeah, that's like the Voidfall. Many people of my Discord just ran to their computers. Well, I guess you might be at your computers. Just ran to the Kickstarter page, physically ran while it loaded, and then pledged for 2 copies. I don't know how many skill trays are here, but it's fairly easy to make a cheap version of a skill tray. I did one for Terra Mystica. You just take a thing of foam core, and then you just cut out a spot for it. You can glue a little sticky thing at the bottom if you want. You could do a dual layered foam core. You go boom, boom, and then you just cut out the section and just slot them in. Not fancy, but it has the potential to work if you don't want to upsell yourself. 40 centimeters by 28 centimeters by 7 centimeters. Contains over 3 kilograms of content. Wow. So 28 on the bottom. That's like boom. 40 is like boom. So a little bit oversized. Well, I'm gesturing. That's about as useful as this picture of this very clearly small human. $88, so 122 for Canadian, or 122 if you want to get deluxe. Here's the overview. 14 captivating characters have risen by occasion, each possessing unique abilities. By strategically leveraging their distinct strengths, you can be able to secure the throne. Oh, that's what all these little, these people are. Those are your workers. Dang, this is cute. Your objective is to build the richest realm of dynamic and delectable cities. Accomplish this great endeavor, and you'll be crowned the next ruler of Sweetlands. Yum, 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 yum. Give me the rules, please. Yes, I can see it. Start of the land surrounding a capital city. You'll find vast plains of forests, mines, and seas that stretch out before you. To develop the land, you have to place tiles that match the terrain. It's essential to establish transportation infrastructure by placing road tokens to connect your newly developed areas. Before long, you'll be able to construct a variety of properties, transforming your land into a vibrant and flourishing city. Use your ever-increasing income to continuously expand your cities. Remember the power of your citizens cards. Their assistance will be invaluable time and again. Establish a steady food supply to attract cookie rabbits. Okay, let's see the rule book. How long are you? 14 pages? Oh, girl, that's child's play. I want to see how much asymmetry there is under the revealing of these different buildings. I guess it's the different cost for certain things, people's certain builds. 4 types of resources: money, wheat, wood, and iron. That's this little, so you have your 4 resource trackers over here. So you have your income, and then you're going to take cubes, I think, specifically. And it's like Terraforming Mars style, where all the cubes are the same, so same on components. It's probably good when there are so many components. There's the start phase, the income phase, the action phase, and the cleanup phase. AKA, you have the action phase. Oh, but there's a sort of round bonus. I think that'll determine player order. Your character has an income ability. You have your own income tracks, and you have a citizen deck. 5 cards from the citizen deck. Cool. So there's going to be a lot of these, like, using these card plays at important times, as they were highlighting. You always have to keep 1 card because I assume there's an end game trigger. And so you can do a bunch of stuff in the action phase. You can use an action space, you can play a citizen card, you can use a flip ability, which we'll find out what that is, or you can pass. So the action spaces, the main board and the imitation board in the 3 to 4 player game contains multiple action areas. 1 of 3 action spaces, circular spaces, along with the effects that can be executed. So everything, all these, we're going to zoom, all these little circles are action spaces, and there's additional ones that pop up on the invitation board to give more worker placement spots, and the stuff that you get when you go there. Cool, so you're going to be doing a lot of different actions here, because if there's still available action spaces, choose 1 action area, place an action disc from the common supply. So you're just choosing to use those things. Everybody can use them, but in this process, you must first discard a specified number of citizen cards from your hand, based on the position of the space where you place the disc. So 1, 2, and 3. So each space costs you 1 space, 2, great, love that. You can take whatever you want, but you have to discard some stuff. So you're fighting for it. Pay the cost to get the thing. Pay wheat, place 3 terrain tiles. Pay 4, place 2 spaces on the food track. 4 wheat, get a cookie rabbit. 6 wood, get a road. Is the basic actions. Get some property, get some industry. Oh wow, this is like a free action space. Get some diamonds, get some citizen cards, get some gold. Place a road token on your own map board. So you're building up your own map board as well. It is a solos kind of Castles of Burgundy thing. It's not one main board, but everybody has their own place that they're developing and building. Whenever you place a road, you can establish a network of roads. Roads can give you additional bonuses on terrain tiles. They'll flip them over and they'll give you income, so you'll be able to chain these tiles together. You want to get to the outskirts because it'll give you special bonuses, like you can get extra draw tokens by putting a road down, etc. So essentially, you're going to be getting a bunch of terrain tiles, and then you've got to put out your roads to get to those terrain tiles to flip them over, and then you can build on those terrain tiles. That makes sense. That makes sense thematically. You're expanding your network. You're building a house filled with brownie buildings and cheese tents, or a town rather. There's a little industry track, kind of like the Lost Ruins of Arnak. Temple tracks where you have 2 things that you're moving and you're getting the benefits depending upon what they cross. Yeah, you've got to move your food tracker in order to take cookie rabbits, so you can put cookie rabbits out. You can put cookie rabbits on terrain tiles that has a property but doesn't have a cookie rabbit, just on any building essentially. Cookie rabbits, again, all these things are just, hey, this will be a track, this will give you a bonus, this will be a track, this will give you a bonus, as you develop your own kind of personal board. Castles of Burgundy style. I say Castles of Burgundy style because it's your own personal map. That's the reason why I say that. That's the reason why I say that. I should turn myself up a bit. Those are all the actions. Okay. That makes sense. You're just expanding all your stuff and you're doing things to do that. And then your citizens can do certain things. What do the citizens do? The play cost is up top. The 2 is an immediate ability. So you can use the citizens either for their ability or for the actions on the board. And you have to choose which one you're going to be doing. They also have sweets tags and an automation ability that activates when you gain an industry bonus. Oh, and an industry tag when used when performing an automation. Aha! Well, you're making mini points. This is where you spend your diamonds. You put them under your industry. Anytime you get an industry bonus, when there's an icon that says getting industry bonus, you're also getting this. So your own little engine building section that you're having underneath as well. Or you have a flip ability, so skill tiles very similar to, well, not very similar to Terra Mystica, but you have they're just extra actions. They let you do something. Whenever you gain a skill tile, you get to choose which skill tile you get. Okay, it's like a really nice mishmash of stuff. Doesn't seem that overwhelming. I was expecting it to be a lot more overwhelming with that 100 to 200 playtime. But I think it's because you're going to have so many actions. You're going to be doing so many little things as you move forward, as you go through all of these rounds, these 5 rounds. And you get points on the prosperity track. You get points for number of connected ports. You'll lose a bunch if you don't get to them. You'll earn points for all of the buildings and tents that you put on the board, gold, diamonds, port areas, milestone tiles that you've collected, and then final scoring tiles. Yeah, I think this looks fun. I think if you like crunchy heavy euros, it doesn't give me as much Terra Mystica as I was thinking it might because of just the putting the buildings on the board, but there's a lot of economy. I think the main fun part is going to be choosing the difference between using your cards or playing them for action spaces on the board. I think if that gets you going, you should look into it. The skill tiles being, free action seems interesting and exciting to me. Yeah, I think this looks good. But it is very expensive. It is $122 to get to Canada, plus shipping, $25 additional, $150, $160 to get this game. That's kind of what it would cost to get an Eagle Griffin game, and so at least that price point has already been set, right? Any like Vital Lacerda, and I think this is going to operate in a similar weight of crunchy to Vital Lacerda. Actually, it's going to be a bit lighter weight than Vital Lacerda. I would see this, clocking in at maybe a 3.5 on the Board Game Geek scale in terms of complexity. But yeah, it does look good. I can't knock it on too much. Just depends on if you want that in your life. That finishes Wednesday, November 27th at 9 a.m. Let's move along. Everything good is done. So now we can just blaze through whatever other stuff Kickstarter has spewed out. We've got the Roman Rivalry, an immersive puzzle adventure. This is the first time history mysteries. Very good. It'll be £27, $48 Canadian. This looks like I thought it was maybe a escape room in a box. Oh yeah, look, it is. Okay. But I saw these different modes, co-op, musical score, and voice characters. Okay, sure. So they took the escape room in a box model, ran with it some more. There's a bunch of puzzles set in the world of the Ministry of Time, in which time-traveling secret agents must work from the shadows to protect the integrity of our timeline. The sacred timeline, some might say. But you also have to help Caesar plot military campaigns over. So it looks like there's a little tactical element to it. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just a board and it's set in Caesar's army as you try to work your way through the game and solve specific elements to it. Twice the size of their last game, which it was under a different company, so we don't know what it is. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks cute, honestly. If you like escape rooms in a box, doesn't look completely horrible. Shipping's pretty good. £4 to the UK, 7 to 9 to the US. That's not bad for escape room in a box with tactile feel, and I think you can get away with it because there'll be a larger digital element to it. That finishes Wednesday, November 27th at 12:01 p.m. Moving along to this, I'm just going to breeze through these quickly because we still have we still got a lot to cover. We have Chateau Gardens. You got one easy week off. Was it easy? Yeah. Volatile, Vintage, and Noble Escape, a collection of 3 beautifully designed and easy-to-learn print-and-play games. All you need is a standard deck of cards and a pencil. So yeah, I want to check this out, see if it's any interesting at all. I like Flip Town with the cards. Oh my god. Tell me the game in the video, please. Chateau Gardens, polyomino drawing game. Compete to draw the optimal arrangement of plants and viewing platforms based on the noble's whims. Cool. Volatile, Vintage is an engine builder, building up a vineyard in competition with others to produce the most wine barrels while fighting off mob attacks because they're like, no, we want prohibition. Noble Escape challenges you to save the denizens of the chateau, fleeing the rebels by hiding them in carriages about to flee the estate. You draw a card from the top of the deck, you place it face up. If it is a certain suit, you have to draw certain things. If it is a number, you got to draw it in a certain way. Oh, 8 is just an 8-size box. I see. Haha. Oh, maybe not. You write the score for the area. You follow the rules for the revealed card as you just draw a little thing. Cool. Volatile Vineyard. 2 cards are revealed. You pick one. There's essentially 4 tracks relating to the 4 suits, and they all do different abilities. Standard roll and write fair. Whenever aces, jacks, kings, and queens are revealed, or a pair, you can take special actions So that kind of keeps it exciting. Yeah, I like the deck of cards aspect, that it's not a roll and write. Most people have a deck of cards. And then Noble Escape, 13 rounds, 4 cards representing 4 residents flee the estate. They're revealed each round, placed in their 4 carriages, 1 to each carriage. Then you just add up their weight. Make a balancing. That one doesn't seem that exciting. Volatile Vineyard seems okay. Shadow Garden seems okay. If you like print and plays, check it out. The finish is Wednesday, November 27th at 1 p.m. That's all we're doing. Looking at that one. We're going to move on to this one. Tanares Expeditions Central Sea by Dragori Games. And I wish I had played Tanares now. I have a copy of Tanares. Dragori sent me. They asked me if I wanted the minis or the standee version, which I thought was like so nice of them. And so, of course, I practiced what I preach. I took the standee edition, and it's still gigantic. I'm excited to play Tanares. I'm excited to learn it. I just have been sprinting for a year. But yeah, Tanares was one of those sort of campaigns that looked more exciting than other campaigns to me. Oh, and their big dragons are really cool. They sent me one of those too, and it's on my shelf in the other studio, the less expensive studio. It's standalone though. And I see a flip book. I'm a bit surprised it's only doing 411. Like, Tanares breaks 1 million pretty consistently. Is this just the first day? It says day 1 still active. Day 1 still active, the 20th. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, yeah, well, maybe I'll be doing a 5 reasons shouldn't back about this. Maybe not. It's a short campaign. So that might be able to save it. 4 hours left. So you get the Sea Horror as a gift. $79, that feels pretty nice. During quests, after every encounter, choose one of the 3 random improvements from your hero's exclusive deck. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Marvel Zombies, that you're constantly getting these bonuses that you're going to use throughout. Improvement cards enhance your attacks, enabling unique combos, unleashing devastating power, because you can chain them together with things. And then between and during your quests, upgrade your cards, gain advancement, improve your equipment, unique mix of roguelite and deck building, level up with campaign, dungeon crawler, and board game. Yeah, the balance that they're at least proposing feels kind of fun. Perfect balance of depth and accessibility. Casual mode, battle enemies, and enjoy the journey. Strategic mode, you're not going to get to enjoy the journey. Sorry. Casual, you can. Strategic mode, this is your business. Okay, I like that you have to use your coins, you have to use your economy to access these special powers. I really like that idea of the special powers constantly sort of accruing. That does feel fun. Feels more fun than what it looks like in Marvel Zombies. The all-in is $199. No, don't do it. Get the core box, $79. Or the Sea Explorer. For an additional $20, you can get that cool dragon. Hey, if you like a cool dragon, that feels honestly like a good deal. $20 for a cool dragon? Oh yeah, it's $29. Only $29. I thought they were more expensive. Oh, they're more expensive because I got like a painted one. So I think the painted one was like $70. 4 minis, you get a bunch of standees. Yeah, standee version, baby. Let's jump all the way down to gameplay. Or the main plot. Sure, the main plot. Oh, shipping's here too, yeah. Core would be $25 to the US. $29 to Canada. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Around 100, 105, 104 for you in the US. Translated $150 for me. It's like this or Sweetlands, right? Same price point. Depends if you want that heavy euro with lots of wood. Depending if you want some minis with like an extensive campaign. Depends that if you want to keep that $150 and spend it on yourself. That's okay too. An ancient evil awakens beneath the waves. The once thriving central seas spirals into chaos. Whispers of madness spread as pirates and common folk alike fall victim to a creeping insanity. Is this the creeping insanity? Seems like it might be. How to play. Your hero grows stronger during quests. Yes, we know. Combos. Okay. Strategic depth. That's not how to play. That's just buzzwords. Unpredictable enemies. Also not how to play. Immersive campaign. Not really how to play. I think you do have a rulebook. That's quite nice. This will teach me how to play. Unless it's like, hey, get ready to customize yourself. What is nice is this is 28 pages versus Tanares is like 80. So that's nice. Seems like certainly lighter to accomplish thing because you don't have to worry about classes. There were 8 different classes in Tanares. Here, it just seems like you have your own deck of cards. You'll play a card, you'll do that thing, right? It's pretty self-explanatory because it says what you do on your card, and you have your choices of what you can do from your own card. Oh, you do have kind of the combat rules. This is what they had in regular Tanares. Your primary function, you have a distinct color, guide your hero's optimal strategy. No team can have more than one hero of the same combat role. So very similar to Tanares then, yeah. The foundation is there. You have to play with exactly 4 heroes, so exactly the same as Tanares. There's no true solo. You just play all 4 characters. Everybody has their own defense, their movement, their hit points, reactions. This seems very much like Tanares, and that would make sense since it's called Tanares Expeditions. Good job. Keep the branding consistent. There are little things that modify the enemies or their little curses that are happening as well. It seems fun. You read a quest, you go through the campaign, get random loot all throughout. New rules. High Sea Battleship weapons, treasure hunt. Sure, we don't know those, but those have probably have yet to be added. This is just kind of the baseline of Tanares, and that there's going to be some additional stuff in there. More information than Tanares usually provides on their campaign page, which is great. A decently affordable price in modern crowdfunding, hitting that 79 is really nice. Usually you'd see this for about 100. So yeah, quite impressed. I think this will be fun if you like dungeon crawlers. One of my reasons for Tanares was like, hey, you may not want to manage all 4 characters because you always have to have those characters. Maybe you don't want to be pigeonholed into the party of characters, but I think that's part of the charm of it. Yeah, I think this looks cool. I think they took the lessons that they learned in Tanares and made maybe a more streamlined version. I don't know. Looks pretty nice. That finishes on the 27th at 4 p.m. if you're interested. We're going to keep on moving. Oh, this one will be quick. Family and Friends and Christmas Bundle. Free delivery by Santa in the EU and discounted in the US if you wanted to get Dabawala and Moonlight Market from Mowgli Distribution. I just love that Queen Games. Free delivery by Santa. That's so nice. Mowgli Distribution is just going to distribute some Queen Games, right? What have you created before? Color code. Canceled. Nothing. I don't know if this is a real thing. I clicked on it because I saw Queen Games. I know that these games have sort of delivered, but if you look at, like, Dabawala was way back with Queen Games, and you could get something else here. Oh yeah, Graffiti. That was what they could do along with. They were charging you 35 for Dabawala. MSRP 45 euros. So they're just like selling it again. They're selling Queen Games overstock. I just don't know like why they're selling Queen Games products, and it's not Queen Games who's doing this. It kind of reminds me of those Facebook groups, but there's like, did they just like replicate? I think they might have just like cloned. I just don't know why you would choose Queen Games to scam people with, you know, if this was a scam, because you're not going to get many takers. I'm so interested in this. Maybe it's just they had a Queen Games overstock in Germany and they're like, hey, we can do a Kickstarter order. I don't know what this thing is. Mowgli Distribution. They're an online shop for Queen Games. Okay. They're just an online shop distributor of Queen Games. I guess that makes more sense. Queen Games likes to be on here. They're just selling it. Again, they're like, here's the late pledge. There's some free delivery. In fact, it's a better deal than if you bought it earlier on because you would have had to pay for your shipping in this one. Oh boy, oh boy. If you're interested in that, I don't know. It's Wednesday, the 27th. We're moving on. I think we're just going to cover this briefly as well. It's another TCG or CCG trading card game, collectible card game. Astralia Chronicles. I don't really like collectible card games. I think they're like, whoever has the biggest wallet wins. Now, that may change when I unbox my Universus Attack on Titan pack, because they did like a 3rd season of Attack on Titan for their Universus card game. And yeah, okay, I'm very excited to check those out. I'll do like an unboxing and then I'll like play it a bit and do a little review on those to see if have found a new addiction. I mean, the art here looks fun. Who doesn't love an anime style? I do. Look at them interacting with their opponents. I just think there are so many trading card games that pop up, and I think that I never believe that they're going to be good, you know? I never believe that they're going to be that interesting unless they're an existing system that already existed. But how do you become an existing system if you don't try, right? That's a fallacy, a logical fallacy there. So I don't know. You get your protagonist, their customizable persona deck, 5-card deck that is the central core of your deck strategy. So you get a character and some of their stuff, and then you get to build the game as you go. You can have a linear resource system. They've devised it. No, it's Hearthstone. You get 1 mana per turn. Dyslexic friendly. Hard text uses the high readability font. That's kind of neat, if that's a real thing. Any dyslexics out there? Let me know. Could you read this? Go to this page. Oh, cosmetics, not pay to win. Okay. We want our rarities to be nothing but cosmetics, allowing players to customize their deck without paywalling access to the game. Okay, love that. That's what I like. That's what I like to hear. I love that. I love when people do this. Rarities to be nothing but cosmetic. So you could get a rookie tier with a couple packs for $54 Canadian. And then shipping is still way too much than what I would want to pay. You can also do a little print and play. Okay, you know what? You get me on board. Okay, quick rules. Build your deck. You can take any number of moves in your turn. Play a card, activate an ability, declare an attack, retire a card, put a card you control at the bottom of the deck, pass a turn. So they all probably will have different things. Pick a card that has no frazzle counters, of course. And if you're playing the Magic School Bus variant, no frizzle counters. Comparing attack stat damages to each other, you can also like jump in front of the... It seems like a pretty play a card, compare strength. Not really that much going on mechanically, I don't see, but I really like what they're doing. I'm glad that I looked at it. I love this idea. If you want to, yeah, I love that rarity is tied into not gameplay implications. No pay to win, but just like cosmetics. I think that's awesome. I love that it can then be a thing for collectors and doesn't sort of exclude people who want to get deep into the strategy of the game if they get excited about it. So if you're interested, that finishes Wednesday, November 27th at 5:59 p.m. Moving along, this one's just quickly to the Garphill Medieval Trilogy playing cards and some reprints. There's reprints of Raiders Solo, Raiders Playmat, Rune Saga, some promo cards, just overstock. But there's a bunch of different playing cards here, and this might actually be the time to do a Garphill Kickstarter, because these are the things that don't often get into retail, you know? And so they're doing just a bunch of reprints for promos. Oh, and so but however, Kickstarter wouldn't let us just sell the promos. So we decided to make some playing cards, which, you know what? If you like the Micho's art, you can get that. So if you want to get any promos that you don't have that you're excited about, this is the only time that it makes sense to back a Garphill Games Kickstarter. Otherwise, you can always get their stuff cheaper at retail. This is great. This is super great that they're meeting the demands of people. I like that people are getting what they want. Love, love, love all around. Oh, this is brightening up my day. Just with people getting to engage in their favorite hobby and getting what they want, and what a high point of the day. That finishes Wednesday, November 27th at 9 p.m. Next up, we have All Hoomanz Are Dead, except we're not covering that because it is on the $1 pre-pledge, and we don't give free advertising to people who engage in that, which is unfortunate because this $15,000 goal, at least a third of it has probably gone to a skeezy marketing agency who didn't really help them do anything. This one's raised a bunch of money as well, Fable Fury, but we're also not covering that, again, because it used the $1 pre-pledge. There's gonna be other games out there. There will be. In fact, I've already forgotten about those two. As we move on to this one, Polaris from Constellations Around the North Star, from Simone Luciani, and Andrea Mainini, Abstract Strategy, Glow-in-the-Dark Components. I like Simone Luciani. Apparently one of my favorite designers, according to what I said on the R&R show. I gotta stick with that, because that's canon. Yeah, I think he does great stuff. So let's see in this partnership how it works out and see if this looks any good. Okay, you'll have public and private objectives all based around patterns, I think. And the sun and the moon will shift as the game progresses, and you want to make sure that you put your own patterns in specific spots so that it's ready for the sun and the stars and the moon to shift, I think. Oh, the box glows in the dark like a star. That is fun. 3854, yeah. Pattern building meets hand management. Right, because you can only build certain things depending upon what you have in your hand. That makes sense. Oh, and likely you can only use them in that specific spot? Probably. You can perform one of the following 3 actions. You can take an action card. Take an action card that's face up. You can play an action card. Oh, as long as they have the same lunar phase, you can play them all at the same time. That's pretty cool. Then you can place the elements that appear on the cards in the matching section of the lunar sky. Or you can take 3 shooting star tokens, which will give you flexibility. Certain cards have a sun on them that adds to the round tracker. Then you see whatever the common goal is. Yeah, it seems pretty simple. Only 8 pages of rules, and 3 of those are set up. Choose between 3 options. Place a vertical link, place a horizontal link, earn a shooting star. Place a vertical link and a star. Boom, boom, boom. You want to make these while completing your own small goals as well. Simple pattern matching thing. Yeah, seems fun, seems simple if you like abstract games. Maybe like Sagrada-esque. Oh, modern Ticket to Ride. There you go. As you're completing your own routes. $38, 54 Canadian, and then shipping is 16 to Canada, 9 to the US. 9 to the US isn't bad, you know, $45 for this? That feels like it would be around the same. For me, it would be like $70, and no, I'd rather play Ticket to Ride or Azul or any other sort of smaller Sagrada little abstract pattern making game. But if you're interested, that finishes Thursday, November 28th at 5 p.m. Might be worth it for you. Let's keep it moving. We're in the back half now for Paw Wars. Unleash your inner feline. Love cats, love competition. Race against 2 to 6 players in this fast-paced family game to win. Let's see how good this is or how horrible. I'm betting horrible, but you never know. That's why we look at these things. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be, it's a children's game. That's why they're highlighting children. And that's a little bit too old for me, being a baby. All right, so you flip up a bunch of cards, and then you can roll some dice, and if the symbols match, then you get to slap that thing and you get it. If you want a great speed game that everybody, and I mean every single person out there, unless you have horrible taste, would love, well, you should look into Dutch Blitz. Look at this little cat rolling the dice, though. That's cute. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's cute enough. It's $29 Canadian for just a little bunch of cards and some dice. Plus shipping is not going to be good. But maybe it scratches your feline feathers. That finishes Thursday, November 28th at 3:58. Moving along to SAS. Rogue Regiment. Rogue Regiment, codename SAS. Operation Gains. A 5-part expansion campaign, plus a reprint of the Kickstarter exclusive Black Box Edition. I didn't even know the first one. Did I know the first one? Let me see when it was. D-Day Dice. Oh, November 29th, 2022. I don't think I covered this, though. I don't think I did cover this. I think because it looked very war game. I don't really cover a lot of war games, and I'm saying this to, you know, let myself off the hook for this just cursory look rather than a deep dive into it, as I usually do. I don't want to look into this. I just don't. The theme does nothing for me, right? The theme will never do enough for me to get me on board. Yeah, and I just know I'm not the right person to be covering this. I don't think I'm going to, but I'll leave it in there, right? Like I'll leave it in for you to check it out. I need to know my own strengths and I need to know my own interest, and really, I just don't have the focus today to focus on this. But if you want to check out this little war game, this Rogue Regiment Operation Gain, well, some people are enjoying it. You know, it's raised a bunch of money. That's a pretty decent funding goal, pretty much. So, yeah, get all your war needs here. That finishes Thursday, November 28th at 6 p.m. This is more my speed. Nice to know, animals. I mean, I'm not going to be interested in this, but I like looking at this sort of stuff. A completely new way to discover animal facts. I would like some animal facts. Smooth gameplay and catchy facts from the animal kingdom. I assume it's just a trivia game. But how do they do it? Maybe there will be something interesting here. You never know. Looks like there might be a little game here, and it's just animal facts are on your quest as you move around. You draw some secret quests. You travel the world. You research the animals. Okay, come on. Gameplay. Give me gameplay. So in order to research an animal, you have to be on the place where that animal is located. That makes sense. You'll move around the map so that you can get to the place that you need to be. This marker will always shift down with things costing less down below. You earn points by completing based off of a score. Okay, no, come on. I need more. On your turn, you can study or research. Study is discarding to gain a bunch of research. So you discard the cards in the bottom row to gain 3 research. Oh, and then you just spend the research. It costs you 5 research to get a top row, 3 for a middle, and 1 for a bottom. That seems pretty easy. Every card is worth points. First time you research, you have to be on the same continent. Oh, cool. And you can get additional quests by researching animals that you've already researched as well, because there's multiple paths, and that's how you get new quests. Yeah. Flight and research. How much does it cost for a flight? You just pay the required... Oh, flights pop up. Okay, so you're going to be getting these flights through the cards as well, so you can spend the flight. If there's no... You have to spend an additional 9 research as the flight cost. Yowza. So you really have to time out doing the maneuvering things around, getting these flights, etc. You know, there is a game here, and it's not just... Oh, it's not just a small thing. It looks kind of like an 8-minute Empire style game with a bunch of cards, a bunch of facts on your cards. $57 Canadian, 32 pounds, as you get these little wooden meeples. 235 playing cards. Okay, that's quite a lot of cards. Yeah, seems like a simple... I don't know if it would get too stale with the quests. You know, I'd want to play this in like 30 minutes. Medium weight. I like that there are a bunch of facts on the cards, but I also think that like you're going to stop reading those facts at a certain point. But maybe not. UK, 6 pounds. Canada, 15 pounds. Oof. So like $80 for this game. I'll just read the bottom of the Wingspan cards first, and then I'll move on to this. But yeah, there's some little card here that I like. It kind of reminds me of Acropolis, to give a reference point in terms of the wanting certain research tiles, wanting certain things to go into your bin there, because there's a lot of hate drafting that can happen. If something pops out that's going to be super valuable for someone else, you can just ditch it to get research. And so making that decision between the two might be interesting. I don't know. Then it's Friday, November 29th at 8:59 a.m. Moving along to these 3, we have DNA, Habitopia, and Synthesis board games. 3 exciting science-related games: Master DNA Cloning, Habitat Building, and Molecular Research. Easy, all within a nice work. Quick to learn, and tons of gameplay. Let's keep this one cooking. Oh, Habitopia is pretty small. Synthesis is 35. And DNA is the big one. The new Origin of Species 55. Free upgrades and expansions if you buy the all-in bundle. So doing the boardgametables.com. Sorry, all play. About the games. DNA. Bring Earth's creatures to life on a distant planet by completing colorful DNA patterns and placing species on a modular game board. Each creature you create grants you unique abilities, letting you craft a new strategy with every game. I imagine you have a supply of DNA and you have to connect them here, and when you do, you put them out on the board somewhere in this habitat formation. You can potentially get more points. I don't know. Habitopia packs the enjoyment of building a nature reserve into a small, travel-friendly tin. Each turn, choose between expanding habitats or adding animals with unique scoring conditions. Balancing choices for strategic depth with an easy-to-learn family mode, advanced auction for seasoned players. Okay, so basically front or back of the card, probably. And then we have Synthesis, the Molecular Journey. Step into the role of a scientist on Kepler 452b. Thank goodness you're not a scientist on Kepler 452a. They run the most horrid experiments on people over there. Uncovering the secrets of 4 unknown chemical elements. Each turn you roll dice to draw bonds, add mutations, and create new molecules. Kind of like a little roll and write. Changing colors as you go. Here's a twist. Scoring isn't just about completing molecules, it's about crafting perfect molecules, molecular patterns, and chains. Okay, DNA, how to play. Draw gene tokens. You'll draw gene tokens from the bag. They represent the building blocks needed to complete DNA patterns on your creature card. Complete DNA patterns. Place your drawn gene tokens onto any empty hex on the creature to complete their sequence. To score points, aim to build a pattern that matches the biome arrangement on the game board. Completing a DNA pattern allows you to unlock that creature's special ability, and then once a DNA pattern is complete, move it to the modular planet board. If the colors of your tokens match the terrain hexes, you'll score extra points. Okay. So you throw some stuff down, you see what you're going to make, you try to do this area control element. That seems kind of cool. I do think that seems neat. And then each creature you populate grants you unique abilities. Some offer you an immediate boost, but there's only like 24 cards. 24 cards, some additional mammal cards, okay, some plant cards, so 36, 40 cards of things that you're actually completing. So you're not going to be completing that much. So these abilities won't come into play that much. That's why I'm like focusing on it. Kind of gives me Neotopia vibes. I'm going to see if I can just call out games that I've played. You're going to draw 3 tokens every time. Yeah, that seems fun. I don't like that it's 55. Oh, but what's 55 Canadian or 55 US? 55 Canadian. Okay, I do like that better. I like that a lot better, actually. They don't have rulebooks here, which is disappointing, but I'm okay with the explanation. I don't think there's much more going on than what you see. Habitopia. You become the manager of a thriving nature reserve. Yes. How to play. You draw a card. You select a card for the market. You add it to your reserve. Has 2 sides. Habitat side and a fauna side. Yep. Face up, face down. You can lay these on top of specific patterns and they'll get you a certain number of points because they'll give you additional scoring opportunity. Oh no, you don't have to lay them on the pattern. That's just what the backside is, essentially. So you put it wherever you want and then there'll be scoring conditions next to it, which makes it a little bit more flexible and makes a lot more sense. Yeah, also looks good. That just seems very simple. $20 Canadian also feels decently reasonable for that. These are quite nice, I think. I want a component count. I want a card count on this. What is it? So 40 cards. Again, 40 cards in here. 40 cards, 10 bucks. Maybe not for 20. I don't know. That's like 15 US though. And then finally we have Synthesis. You have your custom dice. You roll the 2 dice, bond die, and a mutation die. The bond die shows the shape of the molecule you get to draw, and then the mutation gives you a special rule or modification for that thing. You draw it, you earn points for creating combos and any sort of other roll and write, but it is a spatial roll and write, that spatial puzzle if people are interested. Also intrigued, least intrigued from this one. Habitats reminds me of Forest Shuffle, so I'm going to keep on going with this. And this reminds me of Just Play Dinosaur Island Raw and Write. But there are special molecules that you want to be completing and dealing with. Any one game, $5 US. 3-game bundle, $9 US, $7 US, $12 US for Canada. That's really good. What have you done before, Eugene Timashov? Timashov Publishing, a Canadian board game company based in beautiful BC. Photo Tour, North American. Oh, and Pacific Ocean. Yeah, I thought Pacific Ocean looked great. And my lovely friend Colin purchased Pacific Ocean, and he enjoys it. Great job. Photo Tour, I thought looked just fine. As a roll and write, it was fine. But yeah, okay. All right. I know Pacific Ocean funded, got it under his belt, coming out with 3 new games. That's wild. Great job, Eugene Timashov. I like this campaign quite a bit. I think Synthesis, who cares? But yeah, quite nice. Quite nice. If you're interested, that finishes Friday, November 29th at 6 p.m. Decent shipping. If I can, I'll ask Colin about Pacific Ocean. Cool. Let's move on to Clans of Caledonia, Industria. Lead your Scottish clan to wealth and fame during the Industrial Revolution. Clans of Caledonia is one that I still haven't played, but I know it's supposed to be great. Let's see if this is an expansion or not. Yeah, it is an expansion. It's a weighted expansion Industria and a reprint of the base game. Cool. Yeah, Clans of Caledonia right now is sitting at 69 on Board Game Geek. 30 to 120 minutes, weight 3.46. Scotland made the transition from agricultural to an industrial country that relied heavily on trade and export. In the following years, food production increased significantly to feed the population growth. You want to do 8 possible actions: building, upgrading, trading, exporting. When you run out of money, you pass and you collect a bonus. In the production phase, you collect your basic resources, your refined goods, your cash. Just a solid Euro game of getting money, spending money, putting some nice fun colored shapes on a board. It's been around for a while. Sold out at 401 Games. Also sold out at Board Game Bliss, but it's around 70 bucks Canadian. I imagine this coming with a big box is going to be significantly more. Be about 74 just the expansion. The base game, okay, 58. That's pretty good. 58 Canadian, and then you just add shipping on. So you can probably get it from your local store around the same. But this is really impressive to me that they're selling the base game for it might actually make sense to purchase from them, because normally companies don't do that. Like, what is shipping? Shipping is going to be, click here to open the shipping table. To the US, one copy is 18 euro. Canada, 23 euro. Significantly more at that $80, maybe $85 amount. After tax, it's going to be close to 80 for me anyway if I were to get it at the store. So almost comparable. And that is really impressive that after shipping, it's almost comparable to going to a local store and picking it up, especially when the local store has stuff out of print. And this coming in for 78, you know, feels decent. 116, especially if that initial thing's going to cost you 80. It's not bad. Delivering 25th plus the big base game bundle. For at least 3 months after fulfilling Kickstarter backers, the game will only be available through Karma Game. It will be at least 10% cheaper during the Kickstarter campaign than 3 months after release. Now, here's an interesting thing. I might make a designated video about this if I ever manage to read the article, but the great and brilliant Vault Boy pointed me to an awesome study about Kickstarter fulfillment and the prices that people put forward on Kickstarter. It's fascinating. I'm very excited to go through and read it when I have some time. I don't know how many pages report. It's a big report. But they took so many of Kickstarter games, both in the technology sphere and in all the gaming spheres, probably video games were included in this, and then they saw if they actually honored the deals that they were giving. And 75%, or some of them, something along those lines, of 75% didn't honor it. Like, you could get it cheaper. You know, they just broke those agreements. Judging by the pricing here, I don't believe this agreement will be broken. I think this will be not in the norm. I think this might actually be pretty decent just based upon, you know, looking at the prices now, doing that price comparison. Also, it's a top 100 Board Game Geek game. I can see why people, they're like, we care about the environment. What are you doing about it? We care about the environment. They're opting for sustainably produced paper though, so that's nice. Rulebooks and languages. Read the rulebook draft. Yeah. Self-made how to play video. If you want to learn how to play Clans of Caledonia. Cool. Talks about all the new concepts. I don't have a baseline for Clans of Caledonia. I would have liked that on the main page as well, you know, to get people to be interested in it. But my friend Matt, who is like my board game soulmate, says I would like it. So I trust that I will like it. But he also owns it. So I would just play it with him. Though that's not really helpful to you all, where I'm just like, hey, I have a friend who's going to teach me. But essentially, that's what I'm saying. I'm also giving myself a pass because it has existed for a while. There's no rulebook of the main game on the page, so they're obviously not trying to sell to new players, or they're just going to sell it based upon the existence of it being in the Board Game Geek Top 100, which is something that I'm perpetuating right. I think if you're jumping into this game and you've never played it, what are you doing? I think if you're jumping into this game and you're just doing it because it's in the BGG Top 100, what are you doing? I think if you're jumping into it because you're like, I like Euros, this Euro's highly rated, and you would go get it at a store and it hasn't been in a store, sure. Honestly, I think that might be an okay reason to do it. But just make sure you're going to get it to the table, you know? That's all I ask. And you know, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to take a little look. Oh, it's only 12 pages. Okay. I thought it was going to be really difficult. We're going to look at the base game and see, to give you a brief overview. If you've never played Clans of Caledonia before, I'm going to decide to do my job, even though I don't want to be very clear. Get a player board, you get all these tokens of different color, they will all do different things. Sheep, cows, cheese, dairies, bakeries, fields, and distilleries. This has turned out to be a pretty okay week. I really did not have high hopes other than Sweetlands, but yeah. This is also something really interesting. Maybe I'll save this to the pick for me discussion. Yeah, I won't put it in here. It might be more beneficial to people to pick for me, those who skip through. Those who aren't my true friends, you get a random clan, and there's going to be more modules in this new thing. You place a woodcutter out. First, a woodcutter or a miner. You pay for the land where they're at. That creates your starting spot on the board. I love starting worker placements. Each round will have a scoring tile. Then take a bunch of actions. Here are the actions, the 8 actions that we talked about. You can trade. Merchants that aren't in your player board can be used in a trade action. You can send them to the market to buy or sell goods. As the value for these goods goes up, the more people that buy them, and it goes down, the more people that sell them. That already feels fun to me. Obtain an export contract. Fulfill your contract. These are objectives. Get a new objective. Okay. Expand. From the top of your column, pay the money onto an empty space that is neighboring or within shipping reach of any of your units. So you're moving around the board, putting these different things out there, these different units. Wherever you place, you can purchase units. That might be why you place some things down. Everything you put down will give you additional things. Upgrade your shipping, very Terra Mystica. Yeah, okay, it's like hitting a nice Terra Mystica itch. Upgrade your technology, you can increase income from your workers. Cool. Hire a merchant, merchants which are used to buy and sell. Yeah. Fulfill your contract, you pay the goods that you have, get all the goods and pay it, and you get the rewards. Yeah, or pass. Yeah, this game looks great. Looks great. Looks great. I don't need the Industria though. That's the thing. Seems like it's earned its Euro spot in the top. I think it looks great just as it is. Don't complicate it. But in Industria, you can deliver railroad tiles, etc. More double-sided map tiles. Oh no. Am I getting this? I might be getting this. I don't know. I don't think I am. My friend Matt owns it. I'm gonna just play it at his house. But yeah, it looks great. Okay, great. I'm glad I read the rule book and I wasn't like, oh, this sucks. And I told people that if they got it, it'd be okay. If you got it, it's okay because it's fun. It looks fun. That finishes Friday, November 29th at 9 p.m. Let's keep it moving to Era of Tribes, 2nd edition, and Beliefs and Betrayals, an asymmetric worker placement strategy game in the vein of Civilization, where your goal is to discover, expand, develop, and interact with your fellow players in Europe following the Neolithic period to the High Middle Ages. 10 unique tribes to choose from, each with special benefits and drawbacks, different starting conditions. Additionally, you have several ways to end the game and a different game length to choose from. Gives a real Civilization feeling, 30 minutes per player. Place leaders on your personal tribal action board where you choose one of 7 different actions each turn. Short downtime. Yeah, okay, I'm interested. Watch this little video first. Their video that's on the page, they're like, this rulebook is just awful. So I'm really excited for this. Yeah, that was a pretty nice little video. Get the most influence points by the end of the game. Develop your empire. A big old map where you're developing a number of different tracks. You have battling off barbarians. You're developing your economy. You're developing your buildings that you can place on the land. I think Clans of Caledonia looks a little bit better. I mean, it's not Clans of Caledonia isn't a 4X, so it's just an economic game. But I find that there's like a lot of economy parallels between a 4X. There's just like a fighting economy, area control economy, somewhat. Era Tribe 2nd edition, though, €69. That's pretty good. Still is 104 Canadian plus shipping. A pretty nice campaign page, though. Battle has a novel combat system. You each get 1 dice. Die faces are distributed anew for combat. So you roll a dice, but you can potentially purchase sides. That does sound neat. This board overwhelms me. I do like this aspect, though. These are the different improvement trees, the little tech trees that you can have as everybody builds up, your money, your standard city building stuff. And even though there's no rulebook on the page, just the fact that that opening video was like, no, the rulebooks are bad. You're gonna have to watch a video anyway. At least that's the precedent. I appreciate that. Maybe there's a rulebook on the page, but I'm not looking at it. The shipping costs are going to be €8 to Germany, 21 to the rest of Europe, $20 to US and Canada. It's like $130 for this big old Civilization game. I'm intrigued by it. I like the idea that you're playing on your own personal board. I like that you're managing your leaders in this action selection aspect that only you get to control. The busyness of the map, I'm sure, would change pretty quickly once you know it. Feels like a fairly dynamic map with a bunch of water and land there, which is kind of neat. I think if you like Civilization games, this is worthwhile checking out from what I have seen so far. and maybe it will get you excited enough to do a deep dive. I feel like people who like Civilization games, though, like the same one. You want to be playing that over and over and over again. So I don't know if this is going to be one of those things which will encourage you to play it over and over and over again or not. But if you're interested, that finishes on the 30th at 5 p.m. I was going to cover this if it had a rulebook on it. I'm not going to. This is Illyriad Empires Grand Strategy board game. It only has 15 backers. It says a little Catan, a little Risk, a little Dominion. I think the Catan part is based around the different tiles and the different terrains that you're moving your armies around on. You're moving the armies there, and then you're acquiring cards to build a deck, which will allow you to move your armies around a little bit. I'd say if you want a Catan Risk, do Barony, you know? Because it's got that area control aspect. Barony is fantastic. Barony. You can check this out. I just think, 15 backers, it's clearly not doing that well. I don't see much in my quick skim that really gets me excited, but I'll leave it in the links. So if you're interested, the finish is Sunday, December 1st. The 1st of December, we're at the end of the year. Oh my gosh, what a year it's been. Next up, we have Devil's Dice. Wait, that sounds different than the one I was normally used to. Devilish Dice, there we go. Devilish Dice. It's Devil's Dice. It's not Devilish Dice. Get out of here in your sexy robe. Devilish Dice. Okay, now you can go. Ever want to summon the devil? Well, you already did by clicking on this YouTube video. That's not the devil song. It's fun and easier than you thought. You'll need to outrace and outbluff your friends though, because you'll want the devil to take their souls. Fair enough. Yeah, my friend Matt was running a bar and they made it a hell bar for October. They turned up the heat, made all this food secretly spicy and didn't tell anyone. And then they also got people to get $10 off a drink by selling their soul. And so many people took it. I'm like, you're selling your soul, right? Oh, this isn't going to have any words, is it? Oh, well. All right. That's just flavor. Sorry, I skipped the flavor, Master Satan. Devil's Dice. Wait, that's Satan? Satan's making the video? Satan's gone crowdfunding now? It's like Coup, but with dice. Yeah, that seems cute enough. The bluffing dice game. You roll the dice behind the screen and you say, I can do whatever I want. And then people call you on it and you go, yeah, I would never roll those 3 skulls. You roll 2 dice and you collect a skull token. On your turn, you can claim the symbols on your dice to gain currency or dice or steal them from other players. Yeah, it's Coup. It's just Coup with dice. When you've assembled all 6 symbols between your hand and the public die in Satan's pool, you declare Satan's set, summon the devil, and win. So you have to actually roll it. If you were telling the truth, the player must roll a die into Satan's pool, making it easier for anyone to win. They steal a dice from you, or you roll a dice into Satan's pool, so you lose your life. Yeah, it's Coup. It's Coup with dice. This seems fun, right? What do the things do? Imp set. You gain a die from the pool. Skull. You gain 2 skull tokens. Steal 3 skull tokens. Pay 2 skulls to steal a dice, regardless of the outcome. Yeah, this is the assassin. But you're trying to steal dice from people, and they're hidden behind the screen as well. I would just do flames all the time. Oh, I rolled flames. I'm gonna do flames. I'll do a reroll. I rolled flames. I'm gonna do flames. I'll do a reroll. Yeah, pay 6 skull tokens to steal a dice from any player. And that's unblockable. If you have 10 or more skull tokens, you must choose this action. It's Coup. It's Coup with dice, and I don't hate it. I do hate that it's $29, 41 Canadian. Plus shipping is 25 to the US. Oh no, 8 to the US. That's Alaska and Hawaii. And then 14 to Canada. I mean, it's $60 for Dice Coup, where you get 30 dice. I don't know. I might just play this homebrewed. I might just play it homebrewed. But I do think it's Coup with dice. And I cannot fault it whatsoever. I just can fault that it's too expensive. But if you're interested, the finish is Monday, December 2nd at 12:09 a.m. Moving along, we're over to Galaxy Postman. I remember thinking Galaxy Postman looked good, but I also feel like they had pretty huge shipping misfires, if I'm remembering correctly. Got it 3 months ago. Interstellar module. I don't know. I feel like it was that. Maybe I'm thinking about a different game. Because I don't see in the comments people being really upset. Man, that beard was unhinged. Oh, right. Yeah, that beard was big. That was a big beard. So there's some dice manipulation in there. If you're interested, that was in episode 106 in Crowdfunding Countdown. Yeah, I remember thinking it looked kind of neat. You're going to be exploring this galaxy expanded as you go through. You're also going to be upgrading your own cockpit where you can use dice to trigger different effects. This cockpit right here, and make it more efficient to pick up aliens, deliver aliens around the board. And it's the same price. It's the same price as it was back in 2023. That's when episode 106 was. So it hasn't gone up, which often things do go up. You get the overdrive module if you wanted to. You can check out the rulebook here, but I just ran through my own reminder of thoughts. and shipping is not bad. So I must have been misremembering. It must have been some other Galaxy pick up and deliver game that just had just horrible shipping and didn't deliver or something. But this seems to have delivered, just judging by the other previous comments. We can go back and we can look. If you like pick up and deliver with a dash of dice manipulation, we'll go watch the previous crowdfunding countdown and make a past episode have some use. That finishes on the 3rd. That is Tuesday at 10 a.m. Only a couple more, and probably not really anything. The World of Dreams, roll your dice, fight dark entities to reveal the mysteries of the universe. It's a print and play solo game. Only you, the dreamer, can overcome your fears to face this nightmare. $7 Canadian for this. Is 2 phases, the waking phase, the dream phase. I feel like this looks familiar too. During the waking phase, you try to gain the shaman's help. No, I don't think so. Maybe something different. Which will allow you to alter luck in your dreaming phase. On your dream phase, you use your dice to fight the dark entities that will haunt you. Enter into this phase. Each entity defeated will give you a reward. Roll your dice, get the rewards, chain those rewards together. Once you defeated 3 entities, you fight the nightmare. Kind of 20 strong-esque. Roll the correct dice to do it. Yeah, a little smaller, 20 strong-ish style. If you're interested in checking that out any further, you can look at it. That's a Dreamer's Path, Tuesday, December 3rd at 10:08 a.m. And then also this, which, it's raised more money. It's raised the exact amount needed with 16 backers. This is definitely happening. It's just perfectly, 100% is a real thing. Head-to-head tabletop game of Little Holiday Mayhem by Linny Shell, inspired by annual battle over Sweden's most famous goat. I clicked on this because right now we're doing our holiday death match, the best holiday game. And do you know how many good holiday games there are out there? None. It's a paltry excuse, and I regret it enormously. But it's also pretty fun to see what sort of holiday games are. And so for all you budding game designers out there who happen to be watching this channel, hello, thanks for watching. And just know that you should be making a holiday game. You should. If you can make a really good Christmas game, it will be the Christmas game. It will be the only Christmas game. The pool is smaller. Get those holiday games out there. I want to see a glut of just mediocre holiday games, and then one really good one. So I don't know what this is, but we're going to look at it. This is literally a game where you have a big old goat, and where you have a team of defenders, you have a team of attackers. You have 30 minutes in real time to plan your attack and defense, protecting the goat, and then you come back and you fight each other to the death. I don't understand how the attackers don't always win. Guards can set traps for the burners to stumble into, while burners are tasked with putting together the most creative ways to get around the guards' defenses. Oh, it's okay. This is just it's a TTRPG. Come on. It's not a tabletop game. Well, I guess it is, but it's like a role-playing game. That makes a little bit more sense. Okay. Oh, that makes a lot more sense, honestly. I was so confused because I thought this was more just like a physical game. Now it's a role-playing game. Now that's fine. You have your guards, you have your attackers. The guards plan things out. They've created traps. They create a spike pit. You fall in the spike pit, you die. At least the goat saved. 100%. I was like, what? Are you just throwing people into a room and making them fight over this goat? I really thought it was like you got a box of sticks and you're like, okay, guards, defend the goat. And then I was wondering how the goat stays intact, like if it's a key set piece to the game. I was very confused. Anyway, if you want to get this goat, I guess you have a printed edition. It's a digital edition or a printed edition. There isn't even one where they'll send you a goat. That's a really missed opportunity. It's just a horrible missed opportunity. There are 3 people who've gotten it, 9 people who've gotten it, and then there's still 16 backers. So that's just like, hey, we funded. Just make a lower funding goal. It's very simple. Make a funding goal that is $225, because that's what you've actually raised. But if you're interested in that also finishes Tuesday, December 3rd at 6:37 p.m. Maybe that's a holiday game for you to partake in. That's it. That is it for the week. Every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you. The pick for me being the thing that I think is the most interesting to me mechanically, the thing that I would want to play next. Ooh. Or the thing that I would be most likely to buy. And the pick for you is the thing that I think if you get it, you will be the least offended by having spent your poor money on it. But remember, you don't have to purchase everything. And this is why I should have said my point when I thought of it, because now it's completely gone out of my head. It was going to be a real saver, a real spending saver point, and I don't know what it was about. So you're off the hook this time. No, just kidding. You're not. remember that this was actually a pretty good week. Let's go through the grunt down. Let's grunt our way through and see what we have to see. Meh, 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 meh. Yeah. Oh, I remember. Okay, remember. Okay, it's about tofu. Yeah. Meh. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. No. Yeah. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. Nah. Not for me. Nah. Yeah. Yeah. Meh. Yeah. Nah. No. Coup. Nah. And go. I remembered my point though. I remembered my point. My point was that I really thought Tofu, what was it called? Tofu Shifu? Tofu Shifu, yeah, I was right. I really thought that Tofu Shifu was going to be the pick for me. Like, I saw it, I was like, cute. I was like, I didn't think that there was going to be much this week. I didn't think that there was going to be all that was interesting. And I was like, yeah, I want to get it. I want to get it for these little bits. I want to get it for the cute art. And I still think it looks like a kind of a cute game. But going through the games and seeing other opportunities pop up, that kind of cooled me from it. Right? I found myself just like, there are these things that spark this dopamine hit in you. And then when you reevaluate them, when they're compared to the other things that exist, it may not do that thing. And so I also think with these crowdfunding countdowns, that often we'll get bad weeks, just like bad weeks. And so I'll pick the best of the bunch. I want to emphasize that it's sometimes not good enough. Like Tofu Shifu, I'm really torn on. I thought it was going to be the pick for me, but it isn't. Like, there are other things that I got more excited about mechanically. I like the randomization of pulling out the people. I think it looks cute. I think it looks like a great price too, minus the shipping. But I was, willing to pay that shipping because I felt it was a good price. If it was like the highlight of the week and it maintained my excitement. But at the end of the day, like, art can only get me personally so far. And so that's the thing that I realized as going through. I'm like, man, my excitement was coming from a really different place. Maybe I should support my buying decisions. And it's so easy. It's so easy to like let that trigger happen and be like, yeah, back, FOMO, boom. Or like, I'm supporting this thing. And like, totally do it. Like, get the things that will bring you joy, but really take the time to reevaluate whether or not the things that you've currently backed and can cancel are actively sparking that joy. Because I think we get into this cycle of like, okay, we're going to back the next thing. We'll back the next thing. And like, I haven't backed something in a month, so I'll back this. And then the better thing comes down that month. And you're like, oh, but I already backed that thing. You know what I mean? And we kind of justify it in other ways. Like for me, it was the art and it was the good deal. And I think it looks cute. I think it looks really good. I don't think I necessarily need it as much because like I know my own personal preferences. And I know that I would rather play Clans of Caledonia, which looks cool. Pick for me is probably Clans of Caledonia because I think I would want to play that with my friend Matt, who owns it. It doesn't seem unreasonable. If I was going to do an indie pick, though, I might pick DNA. I think DNA seems pretty neat. $39 US. The shipping was pretty good. So we're going to make this the actual pick for me. DNA is going to be the pick for me because, yeah, I was really impressed by Pacific Ocean. I think this seems neat. I think the flow of placing down the tokens, the wooden DNA tokens seems cool as they try to upsell you with wooden DNA tokens. Well, what is it? What's in the DNA box? What are the tokens made out of? Cardboard tokens. I would like wood for that price, give it a little bit more heft. All right, pick for me Clans of Caledonia. Am I a basic deluxe bench? Probably. No, I'm going to pick it with DNA. I think like the abstract nature of it seems cool. Seems a little bit more interesting than like Polaris in terms of that abstract nature. Pick for you. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say Sweetlands is the pick for you. I wanted it to not be the pick for you. I wanted it to not look that good. But I think there's going to be a lot of chunky asymmetry here. I like that idea where everybody can take all the actions and there's an additional cost to doing so. That tension of every action matters because as soon as somebody goes there, it's going to be doubly expensive to go there. I think that's pretty neat. I think the art direction is also fantastic, and I think there's going to be a nice chunky game there. But there were a lot of good options this week. Like Tofu Shifu still had me interested. Tanares Expedition still had me interested. Way to go, Garphill. Clans of Caledonia, I already said. DNA, yeah, those were the ones that kind of got me interested this time around. The year's not over yet. We'll probably still have a couple crowdfunding countdowns left in the bag. I think we could maybe 2 more weeks. I was trying to do a bigger bulk one as the year finishes up, and then I'll do a retrospective of the ones that I remember after going through, I don't know, 600, 700 different rulebooks and campaigns. Which are the games whose names stand out to me, ranking from my own interest, and then of course ranking those $1 million campaigns. Those are the sort of things that I'll be doing in the holiday season when we don't have Crowdfunding Countdown going on. But again, thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. My name is Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase, but I do want you to let me know if you're intimidated by the opulence that I'm continually surrounded by. You can tell, I go for the deluxe pledges, okay? You can tell with this gold, pure gold. It's pure gold, you know. Is that a stain? Oh no, that's a chair. Whew, thought it was a stain. They're not my sheets. They're not my sheets.